Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube. Thank you all for tuning in. Before we get started, thank you to all the new subscribers for subscribing. Let us know in the comments below where you're at in the world. We love to hear from everyone. Thank you all for smashing the hell out of those like buttons in the previous videos. I really do appreciate it. It helps keep me motivated to do these videos every single day. Now, like I mentioned in the last video, uh, we need to talk about Bitcoin first, as they're the driver of the market. Us as an altcoin and CKB are just a passenger for now. I'm going to kind of tell you guys what we have going in for the rest of this broadcast here. We are going to talk about the CMBI launch or partnership. In addition to that, I'm going to be talking about an NFT minting platform on Nervos network that I have, gotten into. I've created a user profile. I'm talking to the developers right now to try and get, some privileges to create and mint an NFT, just to show you how easy that is. So we will be talking about Golden Legend here pretty quickly, but let's get back to Nervos Network. Starting off with BTC on the daily chart, stochastics are in the tank. RSI is in the tank right alongside with it. What did I say yesterday in yesterday's video? I said that we really need to test this 200 moving average. This is a test of time right now. And if we draw up a little Fibonacci time zone, we can see, looking back in hindsight, that it's very accurate. Pivot point here, change in momentum here, pivot point here. I have no reason to not believe that something important is going to happen for the market May 23rd. Now, what do I think is going to happen? Well, I trade my candlesticks with Heiken Ashi, so it makes it a little bit easier to spot trends, things like that. And the way these things work is each candle will start or end at exactly 50% of the previous candle. So when I'm making a prediction like this, I'm thinking right now, based on what I'm seeing for Nervos Network, is that with this longer wick, we may be seeing something like this play out. We may be seeing some sort of descending triangle, or we may be seeing some sort of wedge pattern forming here. Now, there's two things that I would like to see happen. First thing is going to be either a V-shaped recovery. This may be a green spinning top here. But what I really do think is going to happen is we will see BTC, or Bitcoin, trade sideways around this 37,000 level. I think we're going to see this thing slip down to. And what I think we will continue to see is we will see these little triangles. Bear with me one second. I'm having some difficulties with TradingView right now. And it's because I am messing up. So we will see these little tiny, candles form, something like this. And we might see another candle, that kind of looks something like this in here. And my main point is we may see this green spinning top or something like this right here. But this would also form a descending triangle or even a symmetrical triangle at this point. And folks, if we fall below this 200 moving average on May 23rd, and this is a drop-off point to go further, oh man, it's going to be very hard for Bitcoin, I think, to recover. And here is why. We can go back and study previous examples of when Bitcoin rallied and when it didn't. So we can definitely see the last time it death crossed was in, off a major high from a major low, was back in 2019 when we had this little mini run. And so we definitely could see how Bitcoin is looking it's looking pretty similar to what we're seeing now. Bitcoin came down, traded underneath this 200 moving average, which in effect pulled this 50 moving average downwards like this, and meanwhile the 200 moving average kind of goes like this. And when we start seeing price action trading like this underneath this 50 and the 200, this is what's known as the death cross. So we can definitely see, we don't want that to happen at this point. But when it does happen, we can see the implications of this. From here on out, Bitcoin really took a plunge. It went from almost a 50% correction, about 10,400, down to 6,500. Ultimately, I do realize that this is the coronavirus pandemic dump, but we can see how it really clung to this 200 moving average for dear life. And when we saw this happen on this significant run in 2017, and I think this would be the model to compare, against the 2021 run, simply because we had extreme highs here, extreme lows to extreme highs. And what we're seeing here is a piercing in modern day. We are seeing a piercing of the 200. And if we dead cat bounce this and fail to hold above the 200, we can definitely see the death cross happen, and it's all downhill from there. And in fact, this death cross happened on and around April 1st, 2018, and it didn't recover for over a year, April 25th. So my point is, be careful right now with Bitcoin. We still don't know what's going to happen. I still think that May 23rd is really going to be a deciding date on whether we do this and come back up to normal trading levels, or quote unquote normal trading levels, or this is a pit stop for another drop off. We'll see what consumer confidence is like in the next 3 to 5 days. With that said, let's go to CKB. Now, the CKB, it's insane to even see this, but we have a dramatic run for this 200 moving average. And folks, you better gear up for some nastiness with CKB potentially, because if we see this price action keep moving downwards and break through this 200 moving average, and we see the same thing that I was just talking about with Bitcoin, we can definitely expect to go back below sub penny, in my opinion. I'm not a professional trader by any means. This isn't stock trading advice by any means, but you can kind of see where I'm getting at here. If we don't get stopped at this 61.8 line, I don't really see anything stopping us from going down to this 88.6. It's happened before. And if this did happen, might be a good time to accumulate some more, in my opinion. I know I definitely would be. But CKB is doing wonderful things on other fronts. And I'm just going to kind of talk to you guys about a few things. As we all know, there is this great partnership with CMBI. And CMBI is basically a huge Chinese bank backed by the government of China. And so what we can expect to see happen is possibly some governmental adaptation of Nervos network as a cryptocurrency. And so CMBI has a stake in Nervos Network. I don't know how big of a stake it is. I'm sure somebody could find out, but they are vested and do have a big time interest uh, in Nervos Network. And what's interesting about this $50 million fund that they're calling Innovation is that they will basically finance developers to start building dApps, NFT marketplaces, and things like that on the Nervos Network. So I think that's awesome. I don't know how much money goes into developing blockchain. I'm sure it's an insane amount of money, and I think what's more valuable is the actual time that's put into it as well. But you know what? I'm liking what they're doing. With that, this will really help drive some building and some scaling on the Nervos platform. One thing I did want to comment on is that I am in communication now, as of this morning, with the developers of Golden Legend. It's an NFT minting platform, according to Nervos, that gives NFT creators and collectors a simple internet-like product experience. So what they're saying there is user friendliness. It's very easy to navigate the internet, and so I think that's kind of what they're going for right now. I do have a profile that was built out on that platform this morning. So I'm very happy about that. I'm just trying to get the rest of my profile uh, set up so that I can go ahead and create some NFTs. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just build some thumbnails out from inside these videos. So I think I might mint a couple of my thumbnails just to show you guys how easy it is. I was messing around with the interface this morning. It's very user friendly for the most part. I did notice some complications at times where things were in Chinese, and I really would have liked to see them in English. They do have an English side of the platform as well, but there's still some leak through on that. So that video will be coming soon once I get more, uh, you know, uh, communication with the developers of Golden Legend. It's super cool. If you're on Twitter, you can go ahead and look at Nervos Network, and you'll see more stuff about Golden Legend. You can go on and create your own profile, things like that. So right now, even though the market's doing crappy things, Nervos Network is doing good things, and that's great to see, everyone. And you know what? I am long on Nervos, and I am holding about 150,000 CKB. So I have a very small position in Nervos Network, but I'm definitely, you know, at least 3 or 4 months into a 3 to 5 year hold on this. Or once this hits 25, 50 cents a share, I may reconsider things. But at this time, folks, that's really all I have for you for an update today. I'm really sorry that this went 14 minutes long, but there was some good information that we needed to get out and talk about today. So again, if you thought that this TA was helpful by any means, please hit that like button. Let me know in the comments below what you think Nervos Network is going to do next.